Okay, so we are going to put the pocket on our apron, and I am positioning I'm going to use the edge foot just so you can see how it's used. So I'm positioning the edge of my fabric, the edge of my pocket, to up against this metal piece right here. And then I'm scooting my needle over so it'll catch right about here on my pocket all the way down. So we're going to start at the very top edge I'm on the left side of the pocket. Start at the top edge. I'm going to stitch down a little bit, then I'm going to back stitch, and then we're going to stitch all the way down, making sure we're removing any of the pins that we get in the way. And I'm also kind of pulling my fabric taut on either side of the pocket so that when I have it all sewn together, there aren't any puckers on the inside of my apron. It's not the end of the world if there are, but you do want to try to avoid any puckers or any tucks as best as you possibly can. So when we get to the corner, the very bottom corner, we're going to take this slow, and we want to make sure that our needle is going to be in the down position so that when we do get to this very corner edge, we can lift up our foot, pivot the fabric, and turn it to where the short edge of the pocket on the bottom is going to be sewn. So I'm going to take it slow, go one more over. My needle is in the down position. I'm lifting up on my foot and I'm turning my fabric over again so it will catch the bottom edge of the pocket. And we're going to go all the way across to the next corner. And again, we're coming up on that corner, so I want to take it nice and slow. Want to make sure that I hit that corner as pretty as I possibly can. My needle's down and I'm lifting up on my foot. Might be able to go over one more, but we'll see. That's pretty close. So we pivot over, and now we're going to go up on the other side of the long edge of the pocket. And again, I'm just holding my fabric nice and taut, so I'm getting a nice clean stitch all around. Now when we come up to this corner, we need to reinforce that corner. The reason for that is because when you are using a pocket, there's a lot of stress when you're putting your hands in your pocket, when we're going to be putting in utensils. In this pocket in particular, there's a lot of stress that's going to happen at this corner. So we need to reinforce that so we don't have any rips or tears. And the way that we do that is we stitch a triangle shape into this corner, and we'll do it to the other corner as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up all the way to the edge, just like we did all the other corners. We're going to take it over, and then we're going to go across at a diagonal. So let's start. I'm going to take this all the way to my very edge. Go one more over. Now, if you're the kind of person who likes to be very precise, I appreciate you. You might want to count the number of stitches that you do. That way it's equal on both sides. So maybe 5 to 6 stitches over is good enough, and then that way you can go across 5 stitches on both sides. If you are an eyeballer and a guesstimator, I totally appreciate you too. And you can just kind of look to see about 5 stitches, and we'll stop at that 5th stitch and we'll cut across diagonal. Okay. Now, I've got my edge, that metal piece right here that I can use as a guide to go across here, keeping in mind that my needle is over 3 notches, so it'll still hit at this, it'll probably hit about right here. So you just want to make sure that you do a straight line as best as you can. So I'm going to cut across, and then I'm going to back stitch also. And that'll give me a nice reinforced edge right there. So as you can see, there's that triangle, and it's pretty sturdy. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So since we started up here, I'm going to position my needle right here at that beginning stitch, and we're going to go across. Remember, we did 5 stitches over on this side, so if you want to do 5 stitches here to make it even. So I'm going to position my needle. First of all, scoot it over 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 again, so that my needle is now positioned on the left side of this edge foot. And I'm just going to turn my knob to make sure that it's hitting where I want it to hit. I want it to hit right on this original stitch line, so it looks like one continuous stitch. So I'm pretty good there. So I just went over 5. Now I've got my needle down, and I'm just going to pivot my fabric and go across to the other edge at a diagonal. One thing I forgot to do, so make sure you guys don't forget to do this, is I forgot to back stitch. Because it was a brand new stitch, I should have back stitched. So I'm going to just go all the way around again just to make sure I get it nice and secure. So you can ignore me when I go around. But for now, we're going to go at a diagonal. And I'm right there at that original stitch line, turning, going up, turning one more, and catching that. And now I'm going to back stitch like I should have done originally. Okay, now I have a super duper ooper strong corner right here on this pocket. So now that we've got that, just trim up your loose threads, and I'll meet you back at the cutting table.